Hi, I'm Paul Higgins and this is Paul Higgins Photography. Today I want to talk about going on trips and what equipment you should take with you. So here we go. Hey, we just came back from a cruise which was really great fun, but I didn't take everything I needed to, and it got me thinking maybe there's a video here for the minimum amount of stuff you should take with you when you go on a non-photography type trip, like a cruise or just basically something where you're not really, you're just taking your camera just to take some pictures, but you want to take a nice camera. So I took my Sony A7C with me, and I took this lens which I'm shooting at the moment, which is the Sony FE 28-60, which is a great lens. But I did take some things and I didn't take other things. So here's a list of things that you should probably take. First one, lens cleaning solution. So I always forget to take that, but it's very handy. Not only is it good for the camera, but you can also use it on your glasses as well. So it's a win-win situation. So I would definitely recommend making sure you take that. The next thing, which is another thing that I always forget, is an air blower. Now, you can buy these, so I would suggest, depending on where you're going, get a cheap one and just have it. And the other tip I always have with air blowers is put it in a Ziploc bag, and that way nothing will get into it, and it'll be good if you need to use it. They're very handy for just blowing little bits and pieces off either the filter, off either the lens, or off the sensor. So those are a good thing to take. Next thing, which you might not think about, is you can buy sensor cleaners. They're like little wide pads, and I would definitely recommend taking just maybe one of those just in case, because the last thing you'd want to do when you're on vacation is start taking pictures and go, oh crap, there's something on my sensor, and there's nothing you can do about it. Most cameras, in fact all cameras I think now, have some kind of ultrasonic thing that will vibrate the sensor to dislodge dust, and you can do that in collaboration with using the blower, but it's always a good idea to have the sensor cleaners with you too. So I would definitely recommend having a sensor cleaner. A lens cloth. So the lens cloth goes along with the lens cleaning solution. I think I took a lens cloth with me, but I didn't take any lens cleaning solution. So without one, the other one's kind of not that great. One thing to just as an aside, a lot of these things you can buy in little kits, so you might want to check out some of those kits from like B&H or Adorama or your local photography shop. They usually come with pretty much all the things you would need. Next thing I would recommend taking with you is a resealable plastic bag, or a Ziploc bag as they know. And I'd take quite a big one, because what you can do then is, what I do is I put my camera and the lens or whatever I'm going to use in the bag, take it into the high humidity area, for instance on a cruise if you're in the Caribbean, and then let them acclimatize, and that way that reduces the amount of condensation that you get on the camera, on the lenses, all that kind of good stuff. You can also, I've seen people who say just take a camera bag with you and let that acclimatize. The only challenge with that is that camera bags take probably a few hours to acclimatize to the right humidity levels, whereas a Ziploc bag probably won't take more than about 10 or 15 minutes. Next thing, think about what you're taking with you, what camera you're taking, and what lenses you're taking, because if you're not really on a photography type trip, you want to try and minimize what you take with you. So think about what you want, what sort of pictures you want to take, and pack accordingly. I said here, think about regular focal lengths, some kind of telephoto option, and some kind of wide angle option. That really depends on what your bent is and what your photography is. I think I took a 12-60, and I took a wide angle, and I took an ultra wide angle, but I didn't take any telephoto. So telephoto sometimes is interesting to take with you too, although they do take up a lot of space. Another one that I did forget, which didn't bite me but could potentially, and that is a spare memory card. Always good to have spare memory cards, 1 maybe 2 spare memory cards in case your memory card goes boom in the middle of your trip. Other things that I also recommend taking, some sort of camera protection, so some kind of camera bag that you, because then what you can do is you put the camera in the camera bag and then put the camera bag in your carry-on luggage, and that will then protect it from, you know, damage and stuff like that. I did take an external backup drive. I have a really nice, I don't think you can see it, yes, here it is. I have this, which is I don't know if that's going to focus. Is it going to focus if I get out of the way? Nope. But anyway, it's a, can you focus? It's a My Passport, WD My Passport Pro, which is great because you switch it on, you plug your SD cards into it, and boom, they immediately back up. So that's a really good backup option. Something that I'd never really thought about until I got some was extension tubes. They're light, they're easy to pack, they don't take up any space at all, and they give you the ability to be able to do really good close-ups with any lens. So don't get an expensive set of extension tubes, but you can get some for probably about $20 that have electrical contacts that will, you know, talk between your lens and your camera. So extension tubes are good. Spare batteries. Make sure you take spare batteries with you, especially if you're using a mirrorless or a DSLR or something that has notoriously bad battery life. The Sony A series, the Z100Z, I don't know what they're called, those newer batteries last quite a long time, so you don't really need a lot of spares, but I did take 1 spare battery with me, just and keep it charged. Make sure, you know, swap them around, make sure they're charged. And the final thing that I had on my little list was make sure, if you're gonna make use of an app for your camera, so for instance using the Sony, I can't remember what it's called now, app, but that has GPS tagging and things like that, make sure you set that up at home before you leave so that there aren't any problems with getting things set up when you're on your trip, because the last thing you want to be doing is trying to get those set up, especially if you're out of the country and you can't download the app, or there's Wi-Fi problems or all kinds of things. Get it set up in your home environment so that it works good. Alright, so just to summarize, things to take with you when you go on a non-photography vacation or holiday: lens cleaning fluid, lens cleaning solution, a blower, a sensor cleaner, lens cloth, some kind of resealable bag, the right type of lenses, some type of telephoto, wide angle, regular options, spare memory card, some kind of camera protection, camera case, something like that, an external drive or backup option so you can make backups of your photographs every day, extension tubes, especially, you know, just a budget option, spare batteries, and don't forget to set up apps before you go on your holiday. Hope that was helpful. I'm Paul Higgins, and this is Paul Higgins Photography. I'll see you on the next one. See you. Bye bye.